Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes, this is a transfer show. Before I get into that, if you do like what you see, please don't forget to smash that like. It really does help the channel. So do smash the thumbs up. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, come in to subscribe. Come be part of the great community. Only 11 away now from hitting 1,200. Also, hitting that bell notification. That tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. If you want to become a member at 99p a month, you can do that clicking the join button. And if you want to make a donation, do that in the chat, clicking on the dollar sign. All money reinvested back in the channel. And if you do super chat, your comment will be read out as well. So I'm joined by John. How are you, John?
Big up to you, Tony. How are you, man? Hope you're well. And thanks for having us on. And yeah, plenty to talk about. And so it's all good, Tony. I mean, the club's in good shape, and away we go.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, John. I just want to mention before, obviously, I'm not, obviously some people are fans of this sport. I'm not a massive fan of this sport. I only picked up on it because I've heard of this guy before anyway. But anyway, I just want to say, well done to the tennis player Cameron Norrie, who's won at Wimbledon today. And if anybody's not sure about Cameron Norrie, he is a big Newcastle United fan. South African born, represents Great Britain in Wimbledon. He is a huge Newcastle United fan, and he beat Britain's number one today. So well done, Cameron Norrie, through to the next round at Wimbledon. So we've got a bit of Geordie there in Wimbledon. So come on, let's hope we can row him on to the final. That would be fantastic. But well done, Cameron Norrie.
Big up, Cameron.
Right, let's get into some comments first and see what people are saying. Bia says, evening, Tony and Salford. Good evening to you, Bia. Andrew says, evening all. Good evening, Andrew. Hope you're well. Kishan says, hi all. Hi to you, Kishan. Hope you're well too. Martin says, who's a good looking bloke on the right tonight? Depends what right. Smart shirt, John, says Andrew. Yeah, he's got a bit of the Netherlands there, hasn't he? The tangerine.
Yeah. You could be right.
So, Tony, who do you think runs transfers now, says Tristan? Tristan, I think, to be honest with you, I don't think it'll be Eddie Howe, mate. I really don't. But we will talk about that as well, mate, in the show. So, yeah, good point, that, Tristan. Yeah, we will certainly be discussing this. Clarky says Southgate. Well, Southgate now, Clarky. Hi, guys. Hi, Clarky. Well, Southgate ain't going anywhere at the moment, but it looks like he's going to change things for Saturday's game, which, a bit of a change in formation. So hopefully that makes us play better. But I just wish these, media people would stop saying what we're changing the team by, because you're giving the secrets to the opposition then, because then they can set up to play against that system. So, I wish the likes of Sky and that would just keep that gob shut and just, wait till Saturday and see what happens. But we shall see. We shall see. Right. So, obviously, we know Dan Ashworth has left and gone to Man United. So the snake has finally left. And good riddance to bad rubbish. That's what I say. If anybody saw my tweet the other day, I did put that out there. Good riddance to bad rubbish, because at the end of the day, that is bad rubbish. And we've got rid of him. And if he wants to go and work with Mike Ashley Mark II, then he's quite welcome to. We've seen what Ratface is doing to his own club. The amount of redundancies he's making. That man is a disgrace, But saying that, the snake has actually spoken tonight as well. And this is what he says this is what Dan Ashworth actually says. He says, with 2 trophies in the past 2 seasons, Erik ten Hag has reinforced his record as one of the most consistently successful coaches in European football. And he says, so the royal we, so how long has he been a we with Man United, that Erik was the best partner for us to work with in driving up standards and outcomes. Well, hang on a minute. Erik ten Hag has just took Man United to their finished in their worst position in the Premier League. and they've given him an extension on his contract. But Dan Ashworth has come out, John, and saying, we are happy. I mean, it's disgusting, isn't it, how much he's already brushed aside that he was ever employed by Newcastle United.
Well, Dan Ashworth's being Dan Ashworth, I'm afraid. I think his attitude is so wrong. I'm not being funny, right, Tony, but this guy, like you said, see you later for bad rubbish. This guy, right, they come out and say a statement like that. How long's he been in the job for? Since yesterday. And he's come out and say that. Really? It looks like he's been there for 5 years. No, he hasn't. Yeah. He doesn't know anything about United. He doesn't at all whatsoever. He's just gone in and he can't come out and say things like that. I mean, to Hag, obviously signed a new deal today, right? And if I'm honest with you, sort of thing, right? I mean, I've seen on TalkSport today, right, that they think it's a good decision. Gary Bongo has come out and said that that's the wrong decision because they're not going to improve under this manager, yeah? But the bottom line is, and one thing I'm going to say with Dan Ashworth, right, to come out and say that, it's making a snidey remark on Newcastle. A snidey remark, taking a dig at us already, yeah? And for him to come and say those comments, right, he doesn't know now about Erik ten Hag. He doesn't know now about this guy, unless they must have studied him when he's on gardening leave. I mean, I tell you what, right? Let's be real, right? And he thinks he's been at United for 5 years, and the guy's a snake. And it's like the first interview he's done since he's been. I don't think he's ever done an interview at Newcastle United. Not once. Not once.
And he's done one with Man United, yeah. Just shows you, John. Just shows you, doesn't it? But, you know,
the one thing I will say about Gary, go on, sorry.
If he's happy to work there with a man like that, and in a toxic club like that, then let him get on with it. But just give it 18 months when another club comes along and says, oh, we want to take Dan Ashworth, and I'll see where he's lie then. Because I tell you now, he won't be there that long because he'll be gone. He'll be on gardening leave yet again.
He'll be on 2. I'll tell you what, Liz, Tony, give him 2 years. Give him 2 years, and I'll tell any United fan that 2 years, he'll be gone. And I hope I'd love to be wrong, but we're going to be proved right. Do you know what I mean? But and I'll tell you another thing as well, Tony, we're going to be finishing above. If we get the signings right this season, we'll finish above them again. Because we're not scared of these lot. I mean, they will improve. They'll definitely improve. And that's the bottom line. But you know what? You know, Dan has just gone now. We need to move on.
Yeah, we do. I just thought I'd bring that up because obviously, I just thought I'd bring that up because I saw that what Fabrizio Romano put out earlier on. But I mean, the thing with Dan Ashworth is just, he's a snake, and that's what he was. And look, he's gone. We got 12 million for him, and you know what? Happy days. It's funny how the deal was done the day after the PSR deadline. That was deliberately done by Man United because they didn't want us hitting our PSR target with that money. So that's why they did it. Because Ratface thought we might end up staying in the red, which would have meant a points deduction for us. Well, it didn't work like that for him. So maybe that's why they signed him on the day after, which is fair enough. They're supposed to be having PSR issues themselves. I don't believe it for 1 minute. I really don't, because, you know, they're part of that cartel. But yeah, look, let him get on with it. As far as I'm concerned, he can rot there as far as I'm aware. Anyway, let's just jump into some comments. Tristan says, Amanda went to Monaco 2 months ago, and honestly, I think they must have given him full control to come to us. Could have done. Yeah. I mean, he's 42 years of age. I mean, look, let's get him on screen. There he is. There's Paul Mitchell there. That's the man who's now the new director of football. It took everybody by surprise today when I got the notification through on my phone that he had took the job. I was like, what? Hang on, what's all this, you know? So I was quite surprised when I saw this come through. And it came through on my smartwatch, and I thought, oh, hang on, this is a great move. Because this was never discussed. Because, yes, he was discussed, but the one who was the actual, at the time, favourite to come in a couple of months ago was Johanna Spors from 777. And we all thought we were a little bit underwhelmed with that one because we were thinking 7 meters track record. But look, we have got one hell of a director of football here. And let me just say as well about Paul Mitchell as well. Man U wanted him back in February. And he told Man U, I've got other irons in the fire. There's other places I need to speak to as well. And let's be honest here. This is Shearer Mark II, because this guy has told Man United where to go, and he's come to Newcastle United. So that's two people that Man United's wanted ahead of us, and they haven't gotten them. Shearer and now Paul Mitchell. So who's got the better deal, us or Man United? I tell you what, we've got the better deal all day long, and Paul Mitchell will be great. You know, look at his track record. Southampton, Sadio Mane coming. Look at the player he is, or what. You know, he still is a great player, but, you know, obviously he plays in Germany now. But look how well Sadio Mane done. You know, look at his record at Leipzig. You know, the guy's been great wherever he's gone. Went to Spurs, he got Dele Alli in from MK Dons. Now, yes, we know Dele Alli's had a fall from grace in the last few years. But before that, look how he's done with that. So, look, the guy knows what he's doing. And I have every faith and trust, and I will back this man. And let's hope he's here for the long haul, you know, because he did have a comment. A comment came out as well from a snippet come out from Paul Mitchell as well, and there it is on screen. And I'll remove that comment so you can see the full screen of it. And he says, it's with immense pride that I accept the responsibility of being Newcastle United's new sporting director. I can't wait to get started and help continue the organisation's growth and long-term competitiveness in all areas of elite football performance. So he mentions elite football performance. So he knows where the club wants to be, and he knows our club. He knows the club is wanting to be number one eventually. Now, they said he started work immediately, and his next priority is to find a house in the northeast of England to come and live up here. And look, so, you know, now, I think with this, I don't think Eddie Howe will have as much say on transfers as he has previously. I think it will fall to Paul Mitchell, who will have the final say. But then that's what a sporting director does. A sporting director gets the players for you, and you as the coach then coach them. That is the idea of a sporting director. We've seen it in many clubs. I mean, John, look, the guy's looking forward to starting work with us as well. What's your thoughts? Are you happy with this appointment? Because I think it's one hell of an appointment.
100%. I mean, yet again, right? I mean, this comes out of surprise because no one had no idea this guy's going to come in. It's been mentioned, but there's other names to be mentioning as well. Everyone said that Sports is going to be the next one in, but the bottom line is, right? But we didn't know he's going to come. And then this morning, about 9 o'clock, bang, in it comes. I know, don't get us wrong, we'd be moaning, Tony, about we need an SD ASAP, because we said it as well on the show. We need a sporting director ASAP in case it goes bellies up. And for him to come in to the club, right, and wanted to buy a house up in the northeast and get him to work immediately, this guy seems really interested. This guy wants to get down to work, yeah, because we only got another, 2 months to get players in. And if you look at his track record, I'm sure you're going to touch on this record and buys at the close he's been, right? His record is second to absolute none, because what he's done, right, brought in young talent, people like Dele Alli, yeah, players like Sadio Mane, yeah, and Cuckoo as well. And you know what? I mean, he's done fantastic. I mean, he's young. He's 42 years old, right? He could be here for the next 10 years. He can make our club better. You know, he could attract the managers as well. And he knows exactly what you want. He's driven. He's ambitious. He wants to win things, yeah? He's got a mindset, Tony, like us, right? We want to win trophies, yeah? I've seen social media saying that top four. Bro, I want a trophy. elite sports, it's all about winning trophies. I've said it millions of times, yeah, and I will keep saying that until he actually win a trophy. But this guy is going to come in, right, and he's the one who's going to take control, right? You just mentioned about Eddie Howe saying that he wants to get Bournemouth players, so try and treat our club like Bournemouth. That ain't going to happen here at Newcastle. Paul Mitchell is a winner. He wants young, hungry, world-class players coming in. Young and hungry. I think this guy's going to turn our club into Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah. I mean, look, we'll wait and see on that one, John. But, I mean, look, it's early days. He's coming in now. But, it's just, we just can't wait to see what this guy's got to offer. He's 42-year-old. Obviously, he was Southampton's head of recruitment before joining Tottenham in 2014. He had been out of football since leaving French club Monaco in October 23, so there was no compensation to pay for this guy, as he's been out of football since 2023. So about 7 or 8 months he's been out of football. I mean, look, when he was at Southampton, he's credited for signing players like Toby Alderweireld. If I've got his name right, Alderweireld. We know the Belgian centre-off, Sadio Mane, and earned him a move to Tottenham. When he was head of recruitment at Spurs, he was influential in signs like Dele Alli, Son Heung-min, and Kieran Trippier. When he left Tottenham, he joined RB Leipzig in February 2018 as the club's head of recruitment and development, and then he went on to work at Monaco from June 2023 until June 2020 to October 2023. So look, I think this will be a cracking appointment, and look, we'll just have to wait and see how it pans out. I'll just nip into some comments, and then we'll have a look at some players that we've been linked with as well. And remember, when we talk about these players, these are not players that are going to sign for Newcastle United. We are not in the nose by the way, or ITKs. We just follow what we see in the media, and we have a look at these players' strengths and weaknesses, if they've got any weaknesses, and see if these players will be a good fit. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're signing. So before anybody says anything, we are not ITKs. We do not put ourselves out there. We wouldn't do that. It's not worth the hassle. Bia says he's changing the shape instead of personnel. That's a mistake. Yeah, well, to be honest, Bia, I couldn't care about Man United, because I tell you what, keeping Ten Hag on is great news for us, because do you know what it means? Man U stay down there. So, Ten Hag's reputation with players is an absolute disgrace. We've seen it with Sancho. How he's treated Sancho for having mental illness. It's an absolute disgrace to treat a human being like that. Am I the only one who doesn't value Gabby Agbonlahor's intellect? Not a lot of people do, to be fair.
You know what it is? Right? He says some good things today, mind, about England, right? He tells us straight about England, yeah? You might not like him, but I tell you what, I think he spoke well today about England today, about Stubbs, Southgate. He went on the one. He went absolutely on one today. And I tell you, it's worth watching. I think, right, a lot of people don't like him, but I think he talks a lot of sense when it comes to England.
Definitely, John.
When it comes to Newcastle, definitely not.
Yeah. Martin Watson says, R.I.P. Jeff Whitefoot. Busby Babes died 90 years of age. Yeah. Sad to hear. So rest in peace, Jeff Whitefoot. Peter McCardle says, don't believe any ITKs. They know absolutely shit. This is the way we will do business. Nothing now then. Boom. Absolutely. I mean, look. Yeah. You're absolutely spot on, Peter. I think things will be quiet, and then things will just come out and go boom, and then they'll explode. I mean, Amanda's put a message out today, and I've seen a lot of criticism of this message about her, and I'm like, for honestly, God's sake, for FF's sake, just get on with it. I mean, look, she come out and she says, look, I just want to thank our wonderful community for all the lovely messages and email and support we've received recently. I wish we could personally respond to everyone. The new season is full of promise for Newcastle United Football Club, and we don't have long to wait. Now, that's from Amanda. Now then, a lot of people have criticised us, saying, well, what about the PSR? What about selling Elliot Anderson and Minty? Why hasn't she mentioned any of that? And it's like, do you know what? Come on. She's actually come out and said something. You know, stop picking little bits out of things that shouldn't be there. At the end of the day, she's put a message out. Be grateful, because when we had our former owner, the Fat Controller, we never heard any communication from him or from Penfold. None of them, because they didn't give a shit about the club. These owners do. So, don't just go out there and say, well, we want to know why we sold these players and what are the PSR and all this. Let the club get on with that, We've sold Minty. We'll have to move on from Minty, because, look, yes, he hasn't pulled a black and white shirt on. But come on, it's damn good business. You sign a player for 5 million quid and you sell him for 33 million quid because he's had one great season in Eredivisie. That's what it is. It's business. It's great business. Yes, we sold Elliot Anderson for 35 million. Possibly the lad might not get in the team next season. So again, it's 100% profit. So it's good business. So yes, while we're losing a couple of players, but think of the money we're gaining, and the money's getting reinvested into the club. It's not like the old days where the former owner, as soon as the money comes in, it goes and he skyrocket, and the club don't get it, because that man tells more lies than Tom Pepper. Let's be honest. I mean, the amount of lies he's told, I'm surprised his nose isn't longer than Pinocchio's, to be honest with you. Because every time it used to come to transfers, we haven't got the money, but any player sales will be reinvested. Well, I'll tell you now, we didn't see much of that money being reinvested, because that man was a born liar. Sorry, John.
No, that's absolutely fine, Tony. It's absolutely fine. And also, I've seen a lot of tweets going on Amanda, sharing her tweets as well, like tagging her names onto, or tagging her, etc. Don't do that. A, they're not going to reply back to you, and B, it's not a good look. And I've seen people like tagging others onto hers onto the tweet as well. I've seen that loads of times. It's not even worth doing. It's not going to work. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, you're right. They do message on to us as well, and they're really good. They do communicate with us as well. But at the end of the day, right? I mean, I know a lot of people question their movements as well. I mean, what they're doing, because if they sell Anthony Gordon, I think they could be a spot of bother. But at the end of the day, they're not daft. I can't see them sell Anthony Gordon. There's just no way.
No.
But got one here, like Beer Fike said, don't tag, especially not Lauren Woods. I never tagged Laura Woods. I tried to get on my channel, but I've never ever tagged her. But I've tweeted her.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, John. Julie says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, Julie.
Evening.
Yeah. Good evening, Paul Gardner, as well. Alan says, evening, guys. Don't like Ten Hag, Tony, and his team. Was poor 2 seasons, 2 cups, 2 qualifications for Europe. The snake ain't wrong, but it's not bad. It is no bad for first 2 seasons.
The trouble is, though, Tony, right? United is finished 8th last season. That is unacceptable for that football club, yeah? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people will agree on that as well. But I will say now, whether you like them or not, they will improve in the summer. They will improve. And they have to improve in the summer. But then again, Tony, we got to improve as well. We have to improve big time, because at the end of the day, we've got no European football. Right? They got no excuses whatsoever. Yeah. So hopefully, less games. We've got to go for it. But let's play the strongest team and cut games and just go for it.
Absolutely. Pete says, Pete WW says, evening. Great stream as always. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Big up to you, mate. Tristan says, remember, Paul Mitchell has a black book of known agents and has friendships with top sides. He's got to be running us now. Eddie Howe hasn't got his name. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Tristan, look, yes, Paul Mitchell's got a great contact list out there. And look, I think, we'll see some great players coming into the club. We will do. And look, players won't be sold either. That's the thing. We'll build this club, and Paul Mitchell's going to be a huge part of this. It's It's going to take a while for people to get round it and trust, because they're going to think, oh, I hope he doesn't do another Ashworth and just bugger off at the first attempt. I don't think this guy will, to be honest. But you're absolutely right there, Tristan. He has got a good portfolio as well. NS Sports is high. Big up to you, mate. Hope you're well. Tristan says, John, to get Mitchell, he must have offered him control or he wouldn't have come. It's a big risk for him. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Do you, John?
Yeah, 100%. Because at the end of the day, right, he's not a puppet, right? He's ambitious. I said earlier, he's ambitious, and he wants to be the best that he's going to be. So to be the best, you got to let him get on with it, basically. But I think it's very interesting to see how he does. But I believe he's going to do fantastic things. I really do. But you're right. I mean, he's got to do things his own way. And Eddie Howe, as much as I love him, right? There'll be no more bargain players. Do you know what I mean? From Bournemouth and clubs like that. There has to be someone's going to come out talented, young, talented. I wouldn't be surprised if our team now is going to be young, hungry players at the football club under this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Gareth says, hi, Tony John. Great to have some positive news. Hi, Gareth. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Pre-season starts in 3 weeks. Yeah, it's not far away now, is it?
It's not. No, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Tristan says, all I can say is our scouts will be fighting for their jobs as they're not up to scratch. I mean, I think Steve Nixon's done well, and even Bias says the same. Steve Nixon's done well. He has done, yeah, absolutely. Nobody wanted Jan, I suppose. Can't trust anything with this. Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. IC says, do you think we might go on for Pedro Neto? Do you know what? The stories are there. I don't know, mate. I really don't know. But look, yes, he's injury prone. Yes, his hamstrings aren't the greatest. We've seen him get itched against us. I wouldn't be surprised, if we go if a right winger that comes into the club is somebody that we've not been linked to, and it's just this right winger just comes into the club, and all of a sudden it's like, boom, hang on, I wasn't expecting that one. I know we've been mentioned the likes of Kubo, who plays for the Japanese guy who plays for Real Sociedad.
Yeah, Kubo.
Now, yeah, I mean, look, he's a good winger, right winger. It wouldn't surprise me if the club went and bought him, because can you imagine? And I'm not saying it on that side, because one, he's a fantastic winger. Two, you've got to pay the money for him. But on a commercial side, we're going to Japan for a pre-season friendly. Now, if you've got this guy in before we go to Japan, we will sell shirts, because especially if he's on the team. And, we've seen it with other teams when they've bought players and they take them back, they go back to these countries and things like that. And, the commercial value is huge, and it can be huge worldwide as well. So, look, I'm just saying if we did sign Kubo, but I don't know. I don't know who we're going to sign as a right winger. But, look, I like Pedro Neto. He's got pace. But I just think, I'm not sure. Would we take that risk, though? That's the thing. But again, we just have to wait and see. Enjoy the ride. That's what I say. Enjoy the ride. But talking about Wolverhampton Wanderers, one player we will not be taking from Wolves is Max Kilman. It is believed West Ham have agreed a fee of £40 million for the defender, and he's due to have a medical there. So West Ham again are doing well in the transfer market. Max Kilman's not a bad centre half. So West Ham are paying 40 million, so he's definitely not coming to us. Shame about Anderson, but they wouldn't have got enough minutes to develop. That's what I'm thinking as well.
Yeah.
You can't question the club. They have clear vision and will put the club first in every endeavour. They would never intentionally harm the club. Absolutely, Tino. Well said, mate. Ten Hag has a 1-year contract. That says everything. Yeah. Matthias Delict and Xerxes will cook at Man United.
Tell
Yeah,
you what, though,
well,
that would not be a bad signing for them at all if they get them both. You know what I mean? I tell you
yeah,
what, Tony. I mean, for them, that'd be a good start for them. But we should be going for them as well. Let's be real, because Delit will not be, but Zergi, I think he's a fantastic young lad. 6'4", plays up front. He can also play left back, play left wing, plays up front. That guy, he's Jacks of all
yeah.
trade, and I think he's a really good player for Bologna.
Daniela says, "Evening, boys. Good evening." Daniela says, "Hope you voted West
Big
Ham."
up, Danielle.
Yes, I have. I have voted. I have voted, by the way. West Ham got their first chase transfer today. Now for the next one. Yeah, well done. I mean, Kilman's a good centre half, so he's a good, solid centre half. Alan says, "I know I'm in minority, but I don't care. Champions League for me is as important as winning the cup." Yeah, absolutely. Tino says,
I
"Do you
think
know
I'm
what, Tino?"
frozen, Tony. I've got to come back, Tony. I'm frozen, so give us a minute.
Okay, John, no problem.
Give us a minute.
Yeah, Tino, I would as well. Xavi Simons. I've said this before. I've talked about him on previous transfer shows before. He would be a great signing. I like him. I really do like him. I've got the Brest game of pre-season. I've got the Southampton game with a membership being bought next week. Yeah. Let's hope you get the ballot, mate. I really like Neto. I do as well. Yeah, I do like Neto. We'll take John out because he's got to get himself sorted out. Kilman's gone to West Ham. Yes, he has. Apparently, we also looked at Chelsea's academy staff. Would love to have them from the best academy in the country. Yeah, we have looked at them, and I think things are just going to move forward all of a sudden quickly. Kubo would be decent, but I don't know if we'd go in for him. We've been linked with him, so again, I don't know. We'll have to see. Tony, I just think he will get better coaches and scouts, youth manager. And I think Harper will be sacked. Oh, that's a big one. Do you think Harper will go? Interesting. Peter says Sule or Dewey from Rennes, both young and hungry. Do you know what? We have been linked with Desiree Dewey, and look, he's only 19. Do you know what? I think he's going to be one hell of a player. And I know we're stacked in midfield, but do you know what? You need that youthfulness in midfield, and if you need somebody young to come on and help you change a game, Desiree Dewey, absolutely. Matthias Sula is another one. Great. I think he would do well. Apparently, we are in for 2 Chelsea youth coaches who left Bath and Hall. You want Bakayoko? Yes, he's not a bad player either. Biavaitan says, "I hope so. I think both our clubs will surprise people this season. We are both being written off too early." Not Labour, that's for sure. I'm really, really dreading the fact of seeing Starmer as a Prime Minister. Alan says, we haven't got anybody in this country who's good enough to be a Prime Minister, unfortunately. Extended Hag contract 2 years. I reckon they're all a load of tits, to be fair. Yeah, absolutely. Desiree Dewey is good. Need another centre-back. Yes, we do. We need another centre-back, Alan. And that's what we're going to talk about, centre-back that we've been linked with. Now, one silly story I've seen today in the Chronicle, and I don't know why the Chronicle are reporting this, but apparently, and this is according to the Chronicle, that Barcelona are offering Ferran Torres, yep, you heard it right there, Ferran Torres plus cash for Bruno Guimaraes. That's according to the Chronicle, that Barcelona are offering Ferran Torres and cash for Bruno. Now, they can go and do one. Bruno's going nowhere. And now that Paul Mitchell's here, there is no way, there is no chance whatsoever that Bruno is being sold. Because now we can make our own price up. So if somebody wants to come in and buy Bruno, they best be prepared to pay big money. Same with Alexander Isak and the same with Anthony Gordon. The best be prepared to pay big money. Look, I like Ferran Torres. I think he'd be a good signing, but not as part exchange for Bruno, I'm afraid. It would have to be a separate deal, but they wouldn't be getting Bruno. So, what did you think of that story, John? That's gone in the Chronicle that they want to swap Ferran Torres plus cash for Bruno.
Do you know what it is, right? I mean, I'm sick of the Chronicle at the minute, to be fair, Tony. They just talk a lot of BS. I mean, they had to go Anthony Gordon. They are pitted absolutely crap, and I'm absolutely so sick about that as well. Yeah, but so the swap deal, Bruno Guimaraes for Ferran Torres. For me, not a chance. Not a chance. Don't say Ferran Torres is crap. I think he's a fantastic player. He really is. But they wrote a lot of crap the other week saying that Bruno's going to offer 15 million quid for this guy. They paid something like 35, 36 million quid for this guy, plus add-ons on top. But for me, I'll keep Bruno all day long. Do you know what I mean? But if they know the value, they know how much he's worth. Why they try to undercut us? It ain't gonna work, Tony. Do you know what I mean? I'm sick of all these, all this paparazzis, right? All the media, right, talking crap. I'll give it about 10, 15 year time. They're gonna start suing people for false acquisitions, Tony. I really do. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna happen. But the Chronicle, right, always reports very, very late. That's the problem. They rely on Sky Sports. They rely on other top media as well before they jump in. Yeah. Go back to Alan Oliver, right? Honesty, right? He tells it how it is, right? He tells whether it's true or not. Do you know what I mean? But the problem is, Tony, right? They don't tell you now. If you're after a player, they don't say out. They just spout a lot of crap. Even Luke Edwards, yeah? I don't know what he's done with Anthony Gordon, but I tell you what, right? He needs to pack down a wee bit. I hope he's watching as well.
Well, he probably doesn't watch my stream, John. But look, I think with the likes of Luke Edwards, I mean, look, the guy, I don't really like the guy, to be fair. And I think, I really do think this guy needs to just pipe down and just go away because he needs banning. He needs banning from St James's Park. At the end of the day, he's just a Leyton Orient fan, you know. And but anyway, do you think English club? Daniel has got a good point here. Do you think English clubs are missing out by not looking at Eastern European players? Do you know what it is, Daniela? That is a very good question, and I think they are, because I think there's a lot of Eastern European players out there who are very, very good, but clubs just don't want to take a punt on them for some reason, and I don't know why.
You've got to be really, really good to get Eastern European players like Czech Republic. You got Romania. You got Poland. You know, they have some good players over there as well. I don't watch their leagues, but they really got good players. Yeah, obviously these scouts and that know some of that we don't know at all. But you know what? When you got players like Polish players, you got Romanian players, when you got Czech Republic players, they tend to go into the Bundesliga because they try to speak the same language as well. That is the thing. But Australia, right? Look at Georgians as well. They've got some good Georgian players there. They got a lad that plays for Metz. The guy who scored a penalty against Portugal. Yeah, I can't remember his name, but he plays for Metz. And yeah, they've got some really good players there, like I said. Do you know what I mean? But they're just not taking that chance at all whatsoever. That is the thing. It's worth a punt. They don't cost a lot of money. But if you get the right one in, then who knows? I mean, there's a guy called Dennis Mann, plays for Parma. He looks a good player as well. Plays on the right, scores as well. And he's a really good player. Parma's got promoted, by the way. And he'd be worth a punt. But, yeah, it's just all about... Look at Dragastin as well. He's Eastern European, Romanian. Went to Tottenham for 27 million quid. We should be all over this guy because that guy is just going to get better and better and better.
Yeah, absolutely, John. I mean, look, talking about Eastern European players, we were linked with a player who was from Armenia a while back. And his name is Edward Spurtian, or Spurtwan, however you pronounce his name. Now, I'll just run through his stats anyway. He's 24-year-old. He plays centre midfield. High pressing, playmaking, and penalty taking are his strengths. He's got no weaknesses. But we looked at him. He's played 29 games, started 28 of them, scored 11 goals, and got 3 assists from centre midfield. Now, that's what you want from a centre midfielder. You want him to get double figures in goals in a season. But he plays for a club called FC Krasnodar, and they're in Russia. So you can't do deals with Russia because of what's happening in Ukraine. But we were linked with him. But that was probably nearly a year ago we were linked with him. But again, I've just pulled him up because, look, again, it's an Eastern European player who was playing well. And yeah, like you say, John, you look at Kvaratskhelia, he's off to PSG now, isn't he? Big money.
I believe so.
Napoli got him for 10 million quid,
Yeah.
We've had a few Eastern European players ourselves. Ketsbaya, Georgian, probably one of the most famous Georgians. Well known for his his celebration when he kicked the advertising hoardings in his pants. But look, the end of the day, there is some good Eastern European players out there. Mamadashvili, Mikitauti, who's going to be leaving Metz as well.
That's the name on
So
that.
yeah, Mikitauti, yeah. I mean, look, he's played well in the... and then you look at Slovenia, Benjamin Šeško. I mean, look, he should have scored the other night. He really did miss that.
Oh, 1-on-1.
How he missed that. He had more time than he thought. And I tell you what, he could have put that away if he'd done it properly. I mean, you look at the penalties. Yes, great saves from the keeper. But look, the keeper knew where them penalties were going. They were poor penalties from Slovenia, let's be honest.
Agreed.
But it showed you there were no fluke. We got held 0-0 by them. And it took Portugal all the way through extra time 0-0. It was only penalties that they got beaten on. Even Ronaldo couldn't score his penalty against All Black. There's another guy, Eastern European, All Black, one hell of a goalkeeper. I would love him between the sticks at Newcastle United. He's one hell of a goalkeeper. So yeah, there's plenty out there as well, Daniela. So yeah, we've mentioned a few there. Jody says, evening lads. Good evening, Jody. Paul Mitchell's elite signing by the club, in my opinion, real show of ambition. Absolutely it is. Media talk shite to sell papers. Chronicles been paper here for years, John. They're not normally wrong. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, though, Stuart Jameson is famous, right? I mean, who's this guy? I never heard of him. Big up to you, Mary.
Jopadoni as well. Some decent players from Georgia, Czech Republic, and Slovakia. Yeah, absolutely. Exactly.
Lofoka's a really good player. Lofoka.
Yeah. He is, isn't he?
Big fan of him.
As we've signed 2 keepers, Dubs will go. Yeah, we're going to talk about him actually as well. Right, so the first player I'm going to bring up on screen anyway. This is the player we've been linked with, and this player's been linked with us before, but he's been linked more in the past few days now. And there he is there. Not Elliot Anderson. There he is. His name is Antonio Silva. So currently playing for he's currently with the Portuguese squad in the Euros at the moment. And we'll delve into his stats. He's played against Turkey and Georgia. So he's had 2 outings. He only started 1 game for them in the Euros. But if we look at his form in the league last season in Portuguese football, remember this guy's 20 years of age. He's a right-footed centre-back. So yes, that is what we need, a right-footed centre-back. And Antonio Silva fits that bill. 48 million euros is roughly his price. Ground duels and tackling are his strengths. He's got no outstanding weaknesses. He started 29 out of 30 games last season. He was team of the week 4 times. He scored 2 goals. Didn't get any assists, but he's a centre-half, so really a centre-half's not going to get an assist as such. Accurate passing per game. Now, this is considering this is per game. So, when you think he started all these games, 30 games, well, he started 29 and played 30 games altogether, and his accurate pass rate per game is 93%. That is massive. Massive. 95% his own half, 90% accurate in the opposition's half. His long balls are 61% accurate, and his chip passes are 55% accurate too. The team he was playing for was involved in 11 clean sheets. His ball recoveries per game is 6, so that's absolutely magnificent. He does 3 clearances per game. He did commit 1 penalty, but he didn't have any errors that led to a shot or to a goal. He does, like I say, he's very footed, so a lot of it comes down the right as well. But I mean, look, this guy is a great defender, and bearing in mind he's only 20 years of age as well, so he's got a long way to go before he even hits his peak. But what we do need is a natural successor to Fabian Schär, and this guy could be that natural successor to Fabian Schär. I will just put his heat map up on the screen for you, because his heat map's impressive. It really is impressive. So just bear with me and we'll get that on. So as you can see, there's his heat map. And it's all, like I say, it's mostly on the right, but you can see where he does a lot of his defending. His defending's all over the place there. So he does get a lot of tackles in. Yes, he goes in the opposition box, but that's for corners. But where that massive red area is, that's his main part of his defending. Quite impressive heat map, to be fair, and exactly what we need at Newcastle United. John, give me your thoughts on Antonio Silva.
I think he's one of the best young defenders in the country in European football at the minute. And he loves to defend. Like you said, his passability is great. He can tackle as well. And he's only a young kid. He's only 18 years of age, 19 years of age, yeah? But, excuse me, I think Benfica want to keep on for one more year. If I was Antonio Silva, I'd stay for one more year, right? And just get better, yeah? He's getting games. He's played over 20 games for the club this season. And played in Champions League, and he's got sent off twice as well. But like I said, he's raw, and I think he's just going to get better and better. But he's a left centre back as well, not right. He's left centre back according to this, and I like this guy. I really do. He's international as well, and do you know what? His rate, he said 46 million quid. Well, Benfica rates him at 80 million quid, by the way, because Man U tried to get him as well. But I think this one could be another year at Benfica, and then you have to pick up his clubs after that.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got him down on SofaScore's a right-sided centre-back, so...
I think he's confident using left as well, but he is right. But he can play the left centre back as well, so he can play anywhere at the back. So I think what you got to realise, the guy's 6'2", right? But for me, is it too early to him to go? I think he should stay at Benfica for one more year, because what you don't want to do, Tony, at that age, is move to another club and don't get in the team.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're looking at Antonio Silva because he's a cheaper option to Diamande.
Yeah, I think
because the reason Sporting have to sell Diamande for a lot more money is because the club, the signing from Midtjylland, or Midtjylland, I don't know how you pronounce their name, Danish team. Obviously they've got a sell-on clause, so they've obviously got to pay them as well. So that's why his price is high. But I mean, look, he's a decent centre back.
100%.
And we've also supposedly been in contact with Torino as well for Giorgiono. So I mean, look, another good centre back, John.
And what's his name?
Is it? I can't pronounce his name, John. Sorry. I'll tell you. You mean Diamande?
Monday.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
look, yeah.
Come Monday.
No, Alessandro Buongiorno, John, who
Oh,
plays for Torino.
yeah, he's a good defender. He really is. Yes, okay. Not the greatest in the Euros, I'm not going to lie, but for Torino, he could play. Remember, I said to you a couple of weeks ago, he says that when he plays for Torino, he plays in the back three. Torino plays in the back three. We play in the back two. Can he do it in the back two? That needs to be seen. He can do it in the back three. Can he do it in the back two? I think he's a really good defender, by the way. But for me, if he's going to move on for Torino, yeah, he is. And he's comfortable on the ball as well. Passing the ball is great and he's quick. For me, I would say that if he is going to leave, I'm going to break people's bubble. I think he's going to end up staying in Italy. I hope I'm wrong, but he's a really good defender. And I think Juve's after him as well.
Yeah.
Good play. He's a good defender. He has come on leaps and bounds, this guy.
Yeah. Peter says Diamondi and Silva about the same release clauses. Diamondi and more streetwise, though. Yeah. Very true, Peter. Very true. I'm sure we'll get a decent right centre back.
We need to.
And, we'll see them come in. Mary says, just remind you, lovely people, diplomatically, please use Queen of Heart or Queenie respectfully. Hope Tony and John are well. Yeah, show some respect, guys, in the chat. Thank you very much. Yes, we are very well as well, Mary. Thank you very much indeed.
You too, Mary, as well. Thanks for that.
Tino says, I love Diego Simeone at Newcastle if Eddie ever leaves, but he brings the levels of shithousery we want and love. And he says, I think a post I made on Twitter may have accidentally kickstarted this. I made the post and all of a sudden everyone's talking about him. Yeah, I mean, look, Diego Simeone, he's a very defensive coach, isn't he? Look, he's done well. But yeah, I see what you mean about that. Diego Simeone. Right. So then, obviously we've looked at we've looked at him. Now then, as I say, another player. These are extra players we're going to look at now. And let's go to Martin Dubravka. There he is, in the Slovakian top. Look, Dubravka has actually come out and said he wants talks with Newcastle because he's seen us sign a flurry of goalkeepers and he wants to know what's going on, which is obvious. Now then, there's a further twist to Martin Dubravka saga. Ipswich Town have entered the race and said they would like to sign Dubravka. But Dubravka has actually said his preference is Celtic. That's where he wants to go, Celtic. So he says, doesn't want Ipswich Town, he wants to go to Celtic. That's his preferred destination. This keeper's got to move on regardless. How much we get for him, I do not know how much we'll get for him. We're paid 4 million. If I got the 4 million back, I'll be happy with our happy days. John, he does want to go to Ipswich. He wants to go to Celtic. Do you think he'll end up at Celtic, John, in all honesty?
It's a possibility because Celtic wants a goalkeeper because Joe Hart is retired now from the game. So Celtic are definitely looking for a goalkeeper. And I think Dubravka will fit the bill. I think he'll come in and I think he'll do a really good job. But Newcastle wants something like 3 million quid for him or something like that, yeah. But are Celtic going to pay that sort of money for 3 million quid? Because Celtic don't waste their money. That is the thing. But if he went to Celtic, I think he'd do really well for a few seasons. I really, truly believe that because there's a goalkeeper in there, but when he plays for us, right, the back four doesn't seem confident with him behind him at all whatsoever. That's the thing. It's well documented. We've seen it. Do you know what I mean? He's been a great servant for Newcastle United, but now it's time for him to move on to pastures new. But if you look at the goalkeepers we bought, that Vlachodimos and Ruddy, Vlachodimos, I don't feel confident with this keeper whatsoever. I really don't. I'm not going to lie. But John Ruddy is only there just to help younger keepers as well. So for me, if you wanted a keeper, Tony, we should have gone for Mamadashvili. Do you know what I mean? But I'm getting people on social media saying that. So what about Nick Pope then? Look, Nick Pope is injury prone, right? He's a fantastic keeper, right? then let's be real. Oh, Celtic still win the league, by the way, beer. They still win the league. Rangers are not win the league. Not for a long time. Not for a long time. But at the end of the day, right? I mean, listen, what I say, once I say is about Ibaka, he needs to be moved on. But we still need a quality keeper, I think, because John Ruddy's hardly going to play. Vlachodimos is going to be. Look, I'll support the kid, I'll support the players, but I get involved as fans saying that good luck because we're going to need it. But you never know. But Eddie Howe will probably turn into a player, into a keeper. I don't know what you think, Tony.
Well, I wouldn't. One thing I'll disagree with, John, is I wouldn't say Nick Pope's injury prone, because if you go back to the season we qualified for the Champions League, he played all 37 games. He only missed one game in the Premier League. You know, so I wouldn't quite say he was injury prone.
I getting injury prone, not injured. I'll take it back. Yeah, I'll take it back. He had a 4-month out. Yeah, but a lot of people saying he gets shoulder injuries after shoulder injuries. Yeah, but we got to make sure he does not get injured at all this season, because if we do, and he's out for another month, then
Vlachodimos comes in.
I don't feel confident about this keeper at all whatsoever, and I'm not gonna lie, I just don't feel confident. But I hope I'm wrong. But any one of them, he gets him.
Yeah, John absolutely.
John Ruddy be fine.
Well, Ruddy's experienced, so we know with John Ruddy, you know, he's got the experience. You know, so again, we'll wait and see what happens on that one, and see if that develops as well. But I think if he went to Rangers, then Celtic, then I don't think that's a bad deal for him either. So he may win a trophy with Celtic, who knows? But depends. Like Bia says, Rangers might win the league, but
not a chance.
No. Not a chance, Johnny. Not a chance.
The thing is, though, right? I mean, then Clermont's got to go right in the summer. Oh, has he be gone as well?
Yeah. Right. Another player we've been linked with very, very strongly. And this one's been strong for a good couple of weeks now. Are we any closer? Are we apart? I do not know. But it's this man. Here he is, AC Milan's Malik Thiaw, 22-year-old German right-sided centre-back. He can play right-back and centre-back. Long balls are his strengths. The talks is about 30 million quid. You know, last season he started 19 out of 21 games. And if we look at his defensive stats, he was involved with 5 clean sheets in those games. He committed 1 penalty, but he didn't have any errors that led to a shot or a goal. He won 49% of his ground duels, 54% of total duels, 63% of his aerial duels. He lost possession 5.4 times per game. Balls recovery per game, it's only 3.6, so it's a lot less than Antonio Silva. But yeah, I mean, look, Milan only paid 7 million for him from Schalke. I mean, John, you watch a lot of Italian football. How good is this guy?
He's very, very good. He really is a fantastic defender, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, he's 6'4". He's 22 years of age, right? And if you look at him, he's got a presence. Yeah, he's not really a ball-playing defender. What he is, he's all action at the back. Yeah. Well, Tamari and Kalulu, right? Because Milan do play with back 3, right? Under Pioli, now he's been sacked. Yeah. Tamori and Kaluba's pace is quick. This guy could just do the aerial battles. Yeah. And this guy's all arms. He's good at a tackle. Yes, he gets booked as well. And he can rough up for the best as well. And I tell you what, right? I mean, this guy is a really, really, really good defender. He's had he played against Harry Kane as well. And I think he played against Haaland as well. And what I like about him, he's a proper defender and he knows how to defend properly. That is the thing. And he's leggy, he's rangy. And do you know what? 30 million quid, Tony? He's worth every single penny as far as I'm concerned. If you can get this guy in, then I tell you what, our defense is set. Our defense is set. And
Yeah.
I'm going by what I'm saying, yeah, but I think he's a really, really, really good defender, in my opinion. I know people's going to think differently, but you know what? He's got 3 German caps as well. And look, I quite like the guy. I mean, Fox thinks different as well.
Foxy says that's why you shouldn't take stats too seriously because Theo was to blame for plenty of goals last season. Just watch him against Inter and Uwe. Even Beto bullied him when he was at Udinese before Beto went to Everton.
All defense makes mistakes as well. You know what I mean? Botman wasn't quality last season. Yes, he's got injured, but he wasn't great last season. Do you know what I mean? But he's only 22. He's just going to get better. I really do. But if you look at him,
yeah,
big fan of him. Ooh, and maybe the Premiership will toughen him up. And I think you do under the Prem.
I mean, look, if there was a choice, if there's a choice that you can sign Mike Theo or you can sign Antonio Silva, I think you go Silva all day long.
Yeah. Out of the two.
Because his passing rate's much better as well.
That's what we need at the back of passing range as well. Someone's going to pass ball like a Fabian Schär because he can't go on, he can't be with us. He won't be playing football forever. We need a place for him eventually. Do you know what I mean? Eventually you might think to yourself, like, do you know what? I want to go back to Swiss football. Do you know what I mean? I want to go back to Switzerland, go home. And you know what I mean? I hope he's there. I like Fabian Schär. Everyone knows that.
Well, when he hangs he's already said when he hangs his boots up, he's going back to his club where he first started out at because he's going to be a director there. So, Schär will be going back to Switzerland. Obviously, he's good for crunching numbers because he worked in a bank, didn't he? When he was starting to play football, he worked in the bank as well. So, because obviously some football in Switzerland's part time, so his part-time job was working in the bank in finance. So obviously he knows so that's why he's going back there as a director. So when he hangs up his boots, hopefully that's not for a little while yet though.
Yeah, and go back to 4 as well, right? In my opinion, right, he played against Tottenham Hotspur in the Champions League, and I think he did a number of Harry Kane. Him and Kalulu were fantastic at White Hart Lane, and also Milan won. It's what by Gordon nil in Milan, and he also played for Schalke in the title-winning season a couple of years ago. So in the 2022 season, then he moved on to Milan after that. But when it comes down to it, yes, he's young and he's a good defender. But for me, there's still time to grow from this guy.
Yeah. Says we should go for Diamondi. He's a diamond, that lad. Foxy said, I'm not saying Theo's awful. He has potential, but obvious weaknesses in his game. He's just got to cut them out, hasn't he? Them
cut them out. That's what he's got to do. I was going to come on to the weakness as well, but he's got to cut them out, and he'll be fine. Luckily, he's got Tomori and Kalulu on his side as well, who are really good defenders at the back for Milan.
Yeah,
man.
Diamondi, when you look at his stats, he's 20 years of age. They've got 42 million euros, but it's a lot more than that. We know that. Ground jewels are his strength. He can play right back and centre back as well. He started 25 out of 26 games last season, 3 times Team of the Week, got 2 goals, 1 assist. His accurate passing per game is 92%, so it's up there with Antonio Silva. He was part of a team that kept 7 clean sheets. He had 1 error that led to a shot, none that led to a goal. He didn't give any penalties away either. His ball recoveries per game is 5.1 per game, which is outstanding. Clearances per game, 1.4. Ground duels won 64%, 67% of total duels won. He wins 72% of his aerial duels, so because of his height. He loses possession 6.2 per game, but again, it's anybody can lose that much. He had 5 yellow cards last season. One that was a second yellow turned to red, and 1 red card as well. But 20 years of age, this lad's got a lot to learn as well, and he will get better as well. So yeah, absolutely spot on with that one as well.
Thing is though as well, right? I mean, they're young defenders, right? They will have time to grow. Do you know what I mean? They will get. Look at Tony Adams, right? Tony Adams, right? He's a donkey, right? He made mistakes after mistakes after mistakes. Look, he had David O'Leary to put him right, yeah? Then a couple of years later, right, you put the wrongs to the right, and Tony Adams was one of the best centre defender in the country back in that time. So, still lots to learn. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. One guy who keeps dominating the news is this man here. There he is, Anthony Gordon. If you haven't seen it, I think it's on YouTube and that. Find it. The Lions Den. He was on there today for England, talking live this afternoon with Adam Morton. So if you haven't yet seen it, do have a look for it, the Lions Den, and you can find that episode with Anthony Gordon and Adam Morton. I mean, look, Anthony Gordon, the rumours are still flying around about him. Again, according to I'll call it the comical, because it is the comical, the Chronicle. It's not the Chronicle, it's the comical, because the amount of crap they come out with. And when they're getting their sources from Football Insider, my God, that's even worse. Now what they're saying is Newcastle will hold out for a package of £100 million to sell Anthony Gordon this summer. This is according to Football Insider, who claim Newcastle have told Liverpool and any other interested parties they want an initial £75 to £80 million for Gordon, with performance-related add-ons taking the deal up to £100 million. Now then, look, there is no way we are selling Anthony Gordon. We have sorted the PSR issues out. We've sold the 2 players, which has put us right for this season. We don't need to sell anybody. And if we want to be number one and we want to be up there with the best, we've got to keep players like Anthony Gordon. I think the club are sorting out a new contract for Anthony Gordon. And, if he gets a new improved contract, which he thoroughly deserves, because he was our player of the season last season without a doubt. He was absolutely terrific. It's just criminal that he's not getting a go in this England team, because I tell you what, England are missing out here. Hopefully he'll have some part to play on Saturday. But I tell you what, Anthony Gordon, timed out new contract, and if he signs a new deal, at least he's happy here. It would only be if he turned down the new deal, then you think, okay, he wants to go back. Now, some people are saying his head's turned. I don't think his head's turned, because he couldn't wait to get out of Liverpool when he signed for us from Everton. Why would he want to go back there? So, look, I don't believe the story. I think Anthony Gordon will still be a Newcastle player at the start of next season, or the start of the season coming up. John, what's your thoughts on that?
I just think it's a laugh. You said a comical, didn't you? I mean, look, I look at it, right, and I'm thinking, is Gordon going to really leave Newcastle to go back to Merseyside? And I've always said, no, I don't think he will do, because he loves Newcastle United. He's got the family over, right? And he loves the football club. He loves the project. That's what he came here for. And he just loves playing for Newcastle. The fans taking to his hearts. We gave him a chance. People were doubting him when he came to us and say, look, we don't want Anthony Gordon here because of his attitude. Yeah. When he was at Brentford, played at Brentford, he did show a little bit there, but Eddie actually sorted him out. But the bottom line is, and I'm going to say this now, right? Anthony Gordon, right, has been absolutely the real deal at this season. Let's be real, right? That's number one. Secondly, right, we sell Anthony Gordon, right, to Liverpool, right, then I think we're absolutely fools, because we're going to become a selling club. Do you know what I mean? And we don't want to come that. We want to build. We want to build. We want to win trophies. We want to get in the top 4. We want to win honours. with Anthony Gordon in that team. He is key. It's okay having Isak up front, yeah, scoring the goals. Cool, that's fine. Bruno, creating, cool. But Anthony Gordon, he is the linchpin in that team because what he does, right, he's skillful, he takes on players direct, and he stretch the fullback every time. Do you know what I mean? But Anthony Gordon, we sell him, it will not be a good look for Newcastle, especially when it comes to English players as well. It will not be a great look. We need to hang on to this guy. Offer the new contract, give him the new contracts, right? And give him like a reasonable wage, right? To say that he's going to be here for the long term. You look at all the key players, right, in the Premier League. Saka, Arsenal, yeah? Horman Song, yeah? And you got Man City, right? You got Phil Foden, yeah? He's going to be there for ages, yeah? Mo Salah as well, Jota, yeah? They are key players. You've got to keep at least four key players at your football club. You need 4 or 5 leaders there. He's a leader. Isak, Bruno, yeah? Botman when he's fit.
Yeah.
Nick Pope as well, yeah? And Trippier to agree. But we need leaders there. You cannot lose a crown jewel at your football club because the owners made it clear they want to be number one. They would want to be number one. Sell Gordon, we're gonna be number 10. Because I tell you what, we want to win something. We as a club need to act like a big club now.
Yeah, absolutely, John. We're not a selling club no more. I know PSR dictates things, but we don't need to sell now. And at the end of the day, likes of Anthony Gordon, Bruno, and Isak, I believe will all still be at the club come the start of the season. And with a few quality additions, John, like the right winger, another right side centre back, so Cher can be rotated because look, Cher's not getting any younger. And we're not saying that Cher's a bad defender by any stretch of the imagination. But what we are saying is we just want to see if we get them few quality signs in, we could end up at Wembley again in a cup final. We could end up in the Champions League place. Look, I'm looking back to getting another top 7 place next season. That's what I'm going to say at the moment. Obviously, I'll give my predictions more nearer the time once I see how the transfer window develops as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, if we want to be number one, like you said, John, we need to be number one. Yes, I keep saying it. We want to be number one. And if you want to be number one, you keep your stars. You don't sell them.
Which is
the only people you sell are the ones who are not the players you sell are the ones who are not going to be quite that good enough to take you to that next level. And that is your Sean Longstaffs. Now, look, we've still seen nothing coming out about a new contract for him. So maybe he may be sold on. The other thing I was thinking today is with Paul Mitchell coming in as well as sporting director, what I was thinking was maybe we've waited to announce this deal after the PSR deadline because if we'd done it before, his wages would then be on that account, wouldn't it? So I think we've maybe held that off till now so we can just, announce it now. So his wages comes on the new year. But look, it's a great addition, Get rid of Ashworth for 12 million and you get an even better sporting director for free. Because he's out of contract. So look, it's a win-win situation. We've won all day long, So I think the club have plenty of money to spend the transfer window. So don't be fooled by what the media tell you. The media come up with all these figures. Oh, we've got 100 million to spend, or we got 120 million to spend. How do they actually know how much we have to spend? Nobody knows how much we've got to spend. The only people that know how much we have to spend are the owners. And the owners will have the best accountants, and them accountants will tell them and crunch all the numbers and say, that is exactly what you can physically spend. And I'll tell you now, it will be very surprising how much we'll actually spend in this window, because I think we are going to spend biggish, and I've got that feeling we're going to spend big. Maybe not massively big, but I think we'll spend big. We'll definitely develop 2 key areas, which will be the right wing, or upgrading them areas, and the centre half. Also, but right side centre back, by the way. We'll try and get rid of Miggy in the process as well. And also maybe Callum Wilson may still move on. So we probably need another striker in there as well. So look, lots to look at. But I'm sure it's going to be a summer of ups and downs. A transfer window. There's going to be, people saying this player's coming, that player's coming, and so it's going to be a roller coaster. It's going to be a hell of a ride. But I tell you what, jump on it because it's going to be the best adrenaline ride you've had for a long, long time. That is the roller coaster of the transfer window this summer involving Newcastle United. And when you remember that we didn't buy anybody in January, so all that money saved in January helps in this summer's window as well. So look, it plans to be a good summer. So and don't forget, I know some people are disheartened, like, oh, we're not buying this player, we're not buying that player. Remember, the Euros are still on. The Euros are on for another week and a half yet. So once the Euros is finished, then you'll see a lot more movement. But because when you've got, obviously when sides start getting dropped out, like tomorrow you've got Spain, Germany, that's a tough game between them two. Who's going to win that? It's a hard one. But whoever does lose that one, then players may move from that country because obviously they're out the Euros. And the same when France come up against Portugal. Once whoever wins that tie, the losers of that one, then obviously players' futures will start being sorted out. But you can't do nothing when the Euros are on at the moment. And that's the way it is. But look, let's look on the bright side. We've got a great new sporting director now. We've got rid of the snake. The snake's gone to Man United. And good riddance to bad rubbish. And welcome to Paul Mitchell. John, before we wrap up, look, England play Switzerland Saturday. Tough game. There is talk Southgate's going to change things. What's your score prediction for Saturday, John?
It's going to be a real tough game because Switzerland are a cracking side. They really are. Xhaka's going to be so influential in that team. Yeah. And Dan Anoy is playing really well. Fargas is playing well. Fabian Shah, great. And also the goalkeeper as well. And at the end of the day, right, I'm not being funny, but England's going to change their back three, no doubt about it. Yeah. But Anthony Gordon's going to have to play. And he will not play because Southgate will not let him play Tony. Do you know what I mean? He's going to choose to Smith again, right? And I think it's going to be extra time. And England is going to come through on penalties just. I'm going to say once each penalties.
I'm going to say 2-1 England.
But we're going to have to play better, Tony.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah, we're going to have to play better, John. But, we're going to have to play a hell of a lot better. And let's hope we do play a hell of a lot better. We've got to get out there and we've just got to go out there, embrace the tournament and start putting on a show. But look, I know people keep whining on about England being bad. But look, the French haven't set this tournament alight either. They've been poor, John. They've been absolutely dross as well. They haven't even scored a goal from open play. They've got 2 own goals and a penalty, And that's poor from that French team. You look at that team and you think they should be breezing through games, but they're not. There's something they're not clicking either. So it's a bit like England. England aren't clicking and the French aren't clicking. And Portugal, they looked terrible the other night against, against Slovenia. A 41-year-old nearly gave Slovenia a goal. Pepe,
He did. Know what it is with Pepe, right? I think Pepe's still got it. I think he's a really good player. I think he's playing well for a 41-year-old. Apart from that mistake, I think he's defending really well. Do you agree? I like him. I just think he's getting better with age, this guy.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want him in the Premier League. I think he'd be found out. But look, look, Portugal, France. That's another game. That's just going to be it's a 2-hour wins, that one. France have been lucky. France have been lucky getting through the way they have. They've been scraping through. I was surprised Austria, the way they lost to Turkey the other night. I thought Austria were going to beat Turkey, if I was honest, before that game started. But Turkey, fair play to them, won it. So yeah, so Turkey and Holland, that's going to be a heck of a game as well. Holland played well, but look, Romania were poor, let's be honest.
Yeah, I thought Romania was outclassed by the Netherlands. I thought the Netherlands were really good. Should have been more and more and more goals. But one thing I'm going to say, I think they got away with it. Romania could have been 6 or 7 or even 8. But Netherlands was superb. And in Gakpo, I think he's playing really well. Scoring goals, isn't he? I think he's an excellent player. Always has to be an excellent player, do you know what I mean? And I think, you know what? I think this guy's good enough to play for a big club in Liverpool in the future. Do you know what I mean? But you never know with him. But we'll see what happens. But if we can get someone similar to him in the years to come, who knows?
Rennie B says, "Hi, John and guest. How are you?" Hi, Rennie. I'm Tony, by the way. Yeah, big up, mate. Trevor says, "Toon haven't got that injury prone from Everton." No, we haven't. No, we didn't sign Calvert-Lewin. Gabiag Bonlahoa is a clown, says Julie. He hates Newcastle. Lawrence says, remembering we signed Key right after the Blue, 2 days after South Korea went out the Cup. Yes, the World Cup. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Paul Mitchell is the man to get Hamza Chowdhury over the line. And Baz Dost as well. Yeah, absolutely. Which will not happen. Lawrence has scored 1-1 England and England to win it on penalties. Yeah, interesting. Bias says Switzerland will win 3-1. Jade's in. Good evening, lads. Good evening, Jade. I hope you're very well indeed.
Big up, Jade. I hope you're well.
Yes, Foxy said, Paul Mitchell said in the past, Benteke is a player he admires. John will be buzzing if we get him in.
Oh, don't do Benteke again. Where's Benteke now, like? Is he in America, playing in America?
I haven't got a clue, John. Jade says, Switzerland to send you home Saturday, lol. Jokes, lads. No, that's fine, Jade. No worries. Southgate is playing like cabbage heat when he was Toon boss, says Trevor. France has a good manager, says Pierre, but we have an insurance salesman. Well, you know, the French media, I mean, you'll be surprised by this, John, but the French media, they want Deschamps gone after this tournament. They want him gone. They've had enough. And yet that man won the World Cup for them 6 years ago.
He did.
Don't memories.
That's the problem. I think, and I'm going to be really honest as well, but he's done fantastic for the French side. You know, when he's won the World Cup, the Euros as well, and took him to the final again. Only just got beat. And let's be real, right? I mean, I think he's done a lot for the French national team. 12 years. I think I don't think he'll leave. I think he'll move after the World Cup, if anything, and then Zidane to take over.
Yeah. Lawrence has just put in the chat there. Benteke plays for DC United in the MLS. Yes, he does. I knew where he played. I knew he's still playing, but I just think he'd probably be in America sort of thing. But thanks so much for that, Lawrence, man. He's 33 years of age now.
Bloody hell.
He started 18 games he's played. He's played 18 as well, and he scored 14 goals.
14 goals? Wow.
14 goals in 18 games. But, yeah, when you're playing in the American League, that's probably pretty easy for a player of your standards, you know. I mean, when he was at Villa, he was on fire. He was literally on fire at Villa. But after that, he just sort of gone downhill, didn't he?
He did, unfortunately. Like, you know, he's lost his way. Like, I mean, when he went to Liverpool, lost his way. When he went to Palace, again, same thing. But at the end of the day, I mean, look, he's at a perfect clean now for him. Do you know what I mean? I think it's an easier league, and I think he'll be fine. So, good luck to him, and let him continue to score goals in the MLS.
Foxy says Benteke back to his Villa form, 14 and 18 goals in 18 games. Yeah. Jopadoni says sign him up. No, thank you, Jopadoni. But yeah, I think he's suited to that league, isn't he? But yeah, it is. It's just one of those. But then that's again, some players do move to the bigger clubs, and then don't hit it after this. So, you know,
Nah, it's a thing.
that's the way it is. Anyway, guys and girls, we're coming to the end of the show. It's been a great show, by the way. You know, we've had a look at some players. We've got Paul Mitchell in, which is absolutely fantastic as well. I mean, as a sporting director, we've gone from the snake and we've gone to an elite director of football, which is absolutely fantastic indeed. And that's what we needed. And that's what we needed. And just in case anybody hasn't seen his comments, I'll put that back on the screen for you. There we go. And so for the ones who have not long been joined, it's with an immense pride that I accept the responsibility of being Newcastle United's new sporting director. I can't wait to get started and help continue the organisation's growth and long-term competitiveness in all areas of elite football performance. So you mentioned elite football, exactly where Newcastle want to be. And that's what Paul Mitchell has to say. All I say is welcome to Newcastle, Paul Mitchell, and we look forward to seeing what work you do. And look, yeah, if we are looking at a couple of coaches from Chelsea or whatever, bring it on. There is a guy from Ajax as well. We're looking at a youth team manager there as well. So look, the cogs are in motion. The cogs are in motion now. And as I say, the transfer window is going to be a roller coaster. We're going to have plenty more transfer shows. And, you know, if you're an adrenaline junkie, then enjoy the transfer window, because that's exactly what it's going to be like. It's going to be like getting on that roller coaster. And as you're going down the dips and back up the hills, it's going to be like the adrenaline that's going to be rushing through your body. We're going to have the ups and we're going to have the downs. But I tell you what, we're going to have more ups, I think, and we will have downs. That's for sure. You know, if it's Sunderland, of course, they're going to have more downs than they will have ups. You know, they may end up in League One after next season. Who knows? If they do, we'll all laugh again. You know, and it'll be, let's all laugh at Sunderland. But you know, we'll wait and see what happens. We always like to have a good laugh to see what our neighbours are doing down there in the Championship. You know. Their fans thought they were getting promoted last season, never getting promoted. They were lucky to even stay in the division. They only stayed up by 6 points. So the unwashed can stay exactly where they are. Yes, that is the Michelin man. Says, yeah, I like that.
Yes.
Jade says, Mitchell's going to deliver me a sweet Spanish international. I can feel it. Good luck this weekend, although not too much. England have had enough. I know, Jade, I know how much you want a Spanish player at Newcastle United. Hostelu's on a free, isn't he?
He is,
but
yeah,
I
think he's going to Qatar. I think he's going to Qatar, somewhere like that. So,
but yeah, Jade, I know you want a Spanish player at Newcastle United, and yeah, you never know, Jade. You never know. You might just get your wish, so you never know. Joppadoni says, when did he leave Monaco? October 2023, Joppadoni, so we didn't have to pay a fee for him, mate. Who, Tony? I'd forgotten all about them in a different world. They are. Yeah, absolutely. Sunderland. Jade says, yeah, Hostelu's off to the Saudi League, lol. Yeah, he is, yeah, absolutely. Look, Hostelu's done well since he's left us, hasn't he? And, you know, but you never know. We might end up with a Spanish winger or whatever at some point, and you know, who knows? We just have to wait and see on that. John, before we go, have you got anything coming up shortly, like shows wise? And
I haven't got anything coming up yet, but hopefully I could do a show on Sunday if you're available, and try and get Pete on as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you got any plans on Sunday. So I'm good. I have a transfer show in Newcastle Talk.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We're about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, which is the best time.
Yeah, that'll be absolutely fine any time in the afternoon. Yeah.
Cool stuff. I'll let you know on that one, mate. So we're doing that transfer show on Sunday, and any breaking news and that, I'll be back and let you guys know. And other than that, do subscribe to John Sinclair TV. I've got just over 15,000 subs, and which is really good. Thanks for that as well. And there's a video I've done and that went haywire sort of thing. So that's why I got those subs. So thanks for watching that. And if you're new, like and subscribe, you know that. And I'll be back on Sunday.
Yeah, thanks very much, John. So you can find me on my channel. It's all Black and White TV. If you're all watching on John's channel, of course, this is my channel. If you haven't yet subscribed, do consider hitting the subscribe button on It's All Black and White TV and John Sinclair TV as well, of course. I am only 10 subscribers away now from hitting 1,200. Also, if you're on this channel, please do smash the like as well. It does help the channel up the search. Coming up, I've got the pre-match on Saturday, England versus Switzerland. It's Jeremy for the pre-match. I'll bring you both lineups, and we'll see we'll see how England get on in the quarterfinals. Let's hope we're celebrating that we're in the semi-final against either Holland or Turkey. So we shall see. Julie says, SpongeBob Starmer will be Prime Minister in the morning. Osama bin Starmer says, yeah.
Do you think who do you think is going to win it tomorrow? Who do you think is going to win it tomorrow, Tony?
Unfortunately, he's going to get in.
I believe so.
Yeah. I think it'll be him in, and I think it'll be a reset for the Tory party again. They'll have to have a reset and come back a different and come back a different party. But depends how long Starmer lasts. He might not even last this term. He might last this one term, and that'll be it, and he'll be out.
As Prime Minister, as PM.
Yeah.
I think so. I think you're right. I think Rachel Reese will take all that, to be fair.
Ticked both fellas. Have a good evening, John, Tony. Good to catch up. Both stay well, lads. Cheers, Joppadoni. Thank you very much.
Jops, thanks very much, man.
Certainly hope so, Julie. No more Tory, says Alan. Yeah. Ticked, I mean, thumbs up. Yeah, no worries. We know what you meant, Joppadoni. Yes, he's welcome to Communist Britain. Jesus. Look, let's hope they don't put taxes and things like that up. That's, like Rishi Sunak says. Look, as much as the Tories are not liked at the moment and they're on the way out, but one thing you've got to say is Rishi Sunak did promise something, and he has delivered on it. He did say the inflation would come down as well, and he's got inflation right down. So, he has done that. We just don't want it to go back up under a Labour government. Let's hope it doesn't. If that is a government, by the way, because we don't know, anything can happen in this. I mean, look, could be the monster raving loony party who's in charge tomorrow of the country. Could be Lord Lucan, or so whoever it is. But look, we'll wait and see.
It's going to be.
It's going to be close, but they have had. Yeah.
I think if Labour do get in, I think they're going to put taxes up again. That's the only concern, Tony. We don't want that.
No, we don't. No, certainly not.
That's not good. See what happens, I guess.
And South being a tough. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of it down this way, isn't there? But look, I am voting for either one of them, so I've gone differently. So look, I just don't know. I mean, look, I voted Labour the last time, and we got Tony Blair in, and I thought, yeah, everything was going to be great. And to be honest with you, it was okay for a bit, but things didn't change. None of them tell the truth anyway, so it doesn't matter who you put in there. Put Mickey Mouse in there, and he could still spin you a whole load of crap as well. So look, yeah. Anyway, we shall wait and see.
See what happens.
Yeah. The polls close in 5 minutes, so I've done my vote, so I don't have to worry about rushing around the corner.
You don't need to.
Biasa says, no good options, two cheeks of the same. Absolutely, yeah, you're absolutely right, mate, yeah. I mean, that guy said it on last week on one of the leader debates. He said, if yous two are the best this country's got, that's not great. And he was absolutely spot on. And he went out all over the news with that comment,
Deary me.
For him to stand up and say, if you're the best two we've got in here, what hopes has country got? And he's absolutely right.
Yeah, fat.
Stormer don't look Prime Minister, but time for a change, says Alan. Yeah, we'll see what happens anyway. Anyway, guys, so we've had the positive news today. It's great to have some great news at Newcastle United anyway. And onwards and upwards for us anyway. But remember, the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. It's goodbye from me.
And how are the lads?
Yep. How are the lads? And we'll see you later.
See us on Sunday. Take care.